everyone. Welcome back to the Weekly Mash. Today, we are thrilled to be joined by Ariana Rivers, a Pacific Northwest based indie dark romance author whose debut novel, Perfect, is capturing hearts, including Ashley's.
Mhm.
Ariana, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited you're here. Could you tell our listeners a little bit about you and your work? And then we'll jump into some fun questions.
Yeah, hi. I'm super excited to be here. I'm Ariana Rivers. I write dark romance. This is my debut dark romance novel. So this is really my first foray into publishing,
Mhm.
self-publishing, what have you. But I think for me, and I'm based in Portland, Oregon, Pacific Northwest all the way. And I think the thing that I love about dark romance is just how psychological it gets. So that's kind of what I like exploring in my writing.
And she does such a good job, you guys. Such a good job.
Thank you.
It's funny. So now let me finish when I first started reading it, I'm like, don't like the way she does the the male main character. I'm like, I don't like him, and I'm like, wait, there's a reason behind it. And as I get further in the book, I'm like, she had to write him that way. I get it now, because at first I was like, oh, I don't like him. I just ick, ew, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, I need one in my life.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's definitely that's how I wrote it. I was like, I want you to kind of fall in with
Oh
him.
yeah.
I want you to like start like, like really go like have that journey as a reader.
Definitely.
Because that's like how I wrote it. And in the beginning, I'm like, no, I know he gets better, I promise.
I was like, I don't understand. I'm like, how does he think this is okay? Like, ew, gross. And then I'm like, okay, I
There it
got
is.
it. I got it. I got it. And after I got over that, I'm like, I could not stop. Like, I just could not put it down. And I even like downloaded it on my Kindle, and I'm like, so like I'd be sitting in the living room and I'd be like doing this, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm in my room, and then I'd be like back in the living room and be like, and my husband's like, are you ever gonna stop? And I'm like, no, it's not over yet. I gotta figure out what happens.
Oh, that is so flattering. I'm so glad you had that reading
Just saying.
experience.
So if you guys haven't read it yet, just saying. So
I
like
It's
will.
you
good. It's on
said,
KU.
you described yourself as a Pacific Northwest-based indie dark romance author who centers around obsession trauma and healing in your work. For listeners
Yes.
who haven't met you yet, tell us a little bit about your path to writing, what drew you into dark romance, and how your Pacific Northwest roots influence your stories.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of have that standard story of I wrote all the time as a kid. I used to write short stories. I used to make my mom read them, and my mom, I can't tell if she was being a mom or if she actually meant it. She was like, these are really good, And so I would just keep writing. And then I studied literature in college. And I will say the one bad thing about dating men who also study literature or are writers is that they are going to try and F. Scott Fitzgerald you out of your own ambitions. And I definitely, because of that influence, dropped my own creative writing for several years. And honestly, also dropped reading anything for pleasure. It was always like, here's this deep nonfiction book, or like, here's this really intense literary fiction book. And I discovered dark romance and I was like, oh my God, reading is fun
Mhm.
again. This is amazing. And I spent maybe a year and a half just devouring dark romance, almost like that was almost the only thing that I read. And then I got to the point where I was like, I felt like I was reading kind of the same thing over and over again. And that's no shade to any of the authors. I obviously adore everything that they've done. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But I was like, I want something a little bit different. I like this and I want to go deeper. I like this and I want to twist it a little bit. I just kind of tried. I was like, shoot, I'll just go for it. And then I had a book. And I think specifically with Perfect, the Pacific Northwest element is so important. It plays a huge part of the male main character Theo's background. It is not only the setting, but it is its own character in the book, especially the Oregon coast. The book is in its own way a love letter to the Oregon
Mhm.
coast. It takes place in the town of Astoria, which is a real town. It is very cute. You should go hang out there. It's awesome. It also takes place in Yachats. There's some stuff in Portland. There's a little bit of stuff in the Columbia River Gorge and like Hood River. So it is genuinely like a Pacific Northwest dark
Mhm.
romance.
Now I really want to read it because the story is like amazing.
A story is so wonderful.
Yes. One of my friends, when we were in high school, I went on vacation with her and her family to Astoria because her aunt owns an art gallery there. And so we spent
Love.
like maybe a week there. It was so cool. It's beautiful. So being able to like dive back into that place in a book because I can't
Yeah.
necessarily go travel there would be super cool to experience.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, I recommend it. I feel like there were a lot of beach trips for me where I was like, "This is just book research, you guys." Like, hey, babe, like we're gonna go to Astoria for the weekend. It's book research. I swear to God.
Yeah. Yeah. Go to the shipwreck, build some
Yeah,
stuff in there.
absolutely. The shipwreck beach and the wreck of the Iredale actually is a pretty big thing in the book.
Awesome. That's so cool. Love that.
That's
Now yeah,
enough.
I'm always like rearranging TBRs.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll just pop it right up to the top. Yeah, and if you notice on the spine of the book, the wreck of the Iredale is on the spine.
Oh,
It's right there,
I didn't
right
even
awesome.
at the
notice
bottom.
that.
So cool.
My graphic designer is a genius. So I
Yeah.
like just,
I love
he
that.
didn't read the book. I just gave him an overview and he was like, Astoria and Yachts? Okay, so we're going to do the Iredale on the spine and then Yakina Head Lighthouse on the back of the book. And I was like, great, perfect.
There
I
you
love
go. Works. Awesome.
No, I remember reading, and it's literally like page 2, and there's Spokane. Look, there's an annotation tab that I did, and I said, "Hey,
it.
because we're from Spokane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's awesome. Yeah. It's well, because I don't think I'm spoiling anything. It happens within the first 2 pages. She runs from Boston across the country. And the amount of times I Googled that bus trip route and where it would stop, and I'm like, okay, so if it goes to Missoula and then it goes to Spokane.
Hmm. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, page 2, and we're in
Makes sense.
Spokane. I can do this."
Yeah. It's fun to have those text to self connections
Hmm.
too. For
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
I should have put together that
Well,
you were
speaking of
from the Pacific
writing,
Northwest.
It was a little obvious once you got in. You're like, oh wow, this hotel exists in
Yeah.
Portland. Huh.
I'm
Weird.
not
yeah,
that smart though.
whatever.
Yeah. No, I think you're a
Oh,
genius.
thanks.
So
She's like, oh,
Mm.
if your writing desk could talk, what's the juiciest secret it would spill about you?
this bitch don't clean. Like I swear to God, like my desk is a mess. Like my husband and I have a shared office, and it's like there's almost like a dividing line of blue tape, like invisible blue tape down the center, where you've got the tidiest office you'll ever see, and then like a nuclear war zone. That's me. I'm the nuclear war zone desk. I have to clean it occasionally just because I'm like, dude, I don't have enough elbow space anymore. And then I have to move. I mean, genuinely, let me show you stacks of books that are just all over my desk. You know what I mean?
Did we just become best friends?
I think so. I think so. I think we're all just besties
Yeah.
now. I think we're just gonna
Just
hang out.
saying. Just
That's
saying.
good.
Yeah.
Chaos. We love
It's
chaos.
our middle name around here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So as you've already said,
Mine too.
Perfect is intense. Alex escapes a life of abuse and meets Theo. First 2 pages, guys,
Mhm.
we're not spoiling anything. A man fresh out of
No.
prison whose obsession escalates. You really get into the minds of your characters. What was the initial spark for Perfect? Was it your characters first or the themes that you wanted to explore?
Characters first. Characters first. I love stalker romances, and I think when it came to what I wanted to do, I was like, I want to understand fully and wholeheartedly why two people in that situation might actually end up together. And obviously, it's a work of fiction, but like, I was like, how real can I make this? How much of a real person can I make each of these characters so that there's depth and there's trauma and there's backstory and there's like reactivity and all of these things? How real can I make this? And so it started with the characters, and everything else just kind of fell into
Yeah.
place.
I love it because we all love a stalker romance, and if you don't, then we're not friends. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just like I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but yuck that's
Yeah.
not your yum. You know what I mean?
Sorry. But the Perfect is so different than any other stalker romance. It's like when Lights Out came, it's like so different. Like Perfect is like on the opposite end
Totally.
of different because it's not anything next to Lights. Like it's its own beautiful entity, but it's like so also different, but it's like on the
Yeah.
same level as Lights Out to me.
Well, that's extremely flattering. Yeah, it's not a fun rom-com.
No.
I love Lights Out. It's not
No.
a fun rom-com in
But
any
that's
way.
why they're
Perfect
like
is not.
opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
glad you know
No,
what
but
I'm
I
saying.
appreciate that. I totally get what you're saying. I appreciate that though, because I think that was what I was setting out to do, is I love stalker romances so much, and I wanted to just add something a little bit different to the
Mhm.
genre. Yes.
Okay. Writing heavy material like trauma and obsession is tricky. How did you keep it emotionally grounded without crossing into melodrama?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. I did a lot of psychological research, and I have a friend who's a therapist. I have actually 3 friends who are therapists. But one of my friends who's a therapist was a beta reader. And so it was one of those things where I did my best to keep it grounded in terms of like, if this person has had this trauma, how is that going to manifest in their actions and reactions, rather than like, I've given her a traumatic backstory and then I'm just going to make her cry all the time. I mean, okay, she cries a lot, but let's be real, but like for very justified reasons. But like, I didn't want it to be this over the top thing that almost like not made fun of, but made light of genuine traumas that people go through. I wanted it to be a lot more true to, if you have gone through this trauma and you are then put in this position in your life, what are you going to do? How are you going to react? What are your coping mechanisms, maladaptive or healthy? And if you have any healthy coping mechanisms at all, like, have you processed any of this? If not, you're just going to be left with maladaptive coping mechanisms. How do those influence your behavior? So I think I tried to keep it really based in like the psychological, to make sure that it resonated as realistic as possibly.
I liked it. Just saying.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're right.
know-
She
we
did
know.
cry a lot.
Yeah, she does. She's a Pisces. Who can blame her?
I'm like, girl, are we really crying again? I mean, she had reasons to cry, but come on. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Sometimes people are more emotional than other people.
Yeah.
Miranda.
And
So bad.
shockingly, I think they're both exceptionally emotional
Yeah.
people, just in their own separate fucked up ways.
I don't have feelings, so
Same.
I'm also a Pisces. I have too many feelings.
I'm a Libra.
You're nice and balanced. I like
I
that.
don't know about balance, but
I don't know about that.
you ready for this?
Yeah.
Miranda's a Leo.
Yeah.
I love that.
Feel like though I would have made a better Cancer. than a
Well, my
Leo,
question
but
is, what are your rising and moon signs?
A good question.
I don't know.
So I'm not like full blown into astrology, but I am dorky enough about it that I ran natal charts for Alex and Theo when I was writing the book as part of their characterization work. And I'm doing that in my next book. I'm just like, everybody gets a birth chart. I'm running everybody's natal charts. So if you're a Leo, it could be toned up or toned down by your moon and your rising.
Well, she cries at the drop of a hat.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my daughter's birthday
into
is the day after hers, and they have the same name, and they're literally like identical to a T. So
Okay, I'm gonna need some names and birthdays, and I'm gonna
got
do some
you.
digging.
I got you. I got
I'm
you.
that person
Gosh, you
who,
could send over all the info.
Now I'm
yeah,
curious.
I'm that person who, if I was dating, I would be like, hey, before we go out for the first time, when were you born? What's your birthday? Do you know what time you were born? I just gotta Google you really quickly.
Social
I don't
Security
care what you've
number.
done. You could have committed crimes. Are you a Gemini? I need to know.
I think I did that with my
Oh
husband.
boy.
But it wasn't like, I just like wanted to know what his sign was.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't the same sign as my ex.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I have almost exclusively dated Aquarius men. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Weird.
Yeah, I could see that. Speaking of weird, if Alex and Theo had social media accounts, which platform would they be on and what would their bios say?
I have thought about this so much. Alex totally has one of those cute, clean girl Instagrams. She absolutely does. It's all like beautifully shot photos with vague captions of like, a beautiful day, happiness is what you choose it to be, shit like that. Like, that's hers. It's so cute. It's like, you want to think it's curated, but it feels a little more authentic than that. You know what I mean? That's cute. And it would just be like, Alex, PNW, or like Boston to PNW with a little like arrow emoji, and then just like a bunch of little emojis, including like, like a bunch of hearts.
Yeah.
I feel like Theo would have a really chaotic cooking TikTok.
Yeah.
Just a really, he would just be like, we're doing this French recipe. Here's how we go about it.
With his shirt off and all the videos.
Yeah, just thirst trap cooking TikTok, baby.
The handcuffs are sitting
Actually, I
like
think
in the corner of the counter.
Yeah, exactly. I do think realistically, he wouldn't have any social media because he was in prison during the time that social media got really, really huge. But in my mind and in my heart, he's got like a thirst trap TikTok cooking account.
Interesting. But he has no followers because
it's
his
just
heart's only for
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
And he deletes everybody and blocks them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's like blocked.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
true.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, sticking with the fun and quirky questions about our characters here, if you could cast any actor to play Theo in a movie adaptation, who would it be and why?
I don't have an answer to this question. And it is because I have thought about this question a lot. I literally can't look at any actor and go like, yeah, you. I think the closest I could possibly get is probably like Theo James, which is funny because it's like the same name, but like it's not like who like physically that person is based on at all. But just because like I think he can kind of get to like the heights of like neuroticism and like the depths of emotion that I would be looking for. But there would be a bunch of things where I'm just like, well, the nose isn't right, and well, I don't know about that hair, and very that. So it's a hard question. I didn't have like a specific person in mind when I started building the character of Theo. I was just like, what do I personally find exceptionally attractive in a crazy stalker?
Well, it's funny because I was picturing Theo James.
I feel like you
perfect.
always picture Theo James when you read.
Theo James.
Listen, he's a muffin. He's so cute.
He could professionally follow me any day.
Yeah.
And just saying.
Dear Theo James, here's this podcast that you should listen to. We talk about you all the time.
Hey, awkward at all.
I'll be awkward. That gets his attention.
Oh my gosh.
What else do I have to do to get his attention?
Listen, I'll streak naked during a football game if that's what gets it. You know what I mean?
I mean, if he likes my video of me streaking, I mean, who would want to see that? But if he likes my video of me streaking, at least I got his attention. I also have a podcast if he wants to come watch that.
Yeah. Theo James, write a book and we'll have you on the book.
Love you.
Yeah. Big Theo James love.
Literally, like, everybody who comes on here, and I'm like, why I always pictured Theo James? And Miranda's like, you always picture him. I'm like, I know.
Am I the first person to name Theo James?
I think you're like the second.
I think
so.
she's
like the second. I think somebody else did.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe the second. But yeah, it's not normally Theo James. But Ashley's always like, oh, I pictured Theo James.
Listen, if you have to have one person your brain defaults to, that's not a bad option. I feel like currently, my brain is just like everybody in a book is Jacob Elordi.
Or Charlie Hunnam.
Yes.
Questions, Ashley. Questions.
Sorry. I'm busy. Can we picture Charlie Hunnam as Theo for a minute? But nitpick a couple things, like the hair and stuff.
I like Theo James better for him
too, but
Charlie Hunnam's like he's a little beefier.
Charlie Hunnam.
I mean, I like Charlie Hunnam. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just saying he's a little beefier than I imagine.
Can you imagine? Okay, Brianna, let me play this out. Okay, the bat.
You've got an exceptional point there. You know what? Actually, you have an exceptional point there.
Imagine one of the bed scenes. Okay.
With that back. You know what? Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm sold.
The first bed scene with the bat.
Okay. I am blushing.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
With the tattoo still. No, keep the tattoo. Keep the tattoo.
All right. Cool. It's a prison tattoo.
Questions.
Let's just go with that.
Questions.
Sorry, picturing. So, were there any reader reactions that surprised you so far?
Ooh, this is actually like a serious answer. I had a number of readers reach out to me um, regarding the domestic violence aspects of the book and say, like, I felt very seen by this, or I felt like my experience was represented in its own way. And I think that surprised me because I didn't expect that, but it was one of those things where I was just like, I feel very honored to have, in any way, shape, or form made that real enough that somebody can see themselves in it and have a moment of catharsis with the book for that specifically. That was like a really powerful reader reaction that I got from a couple of people. And like some of the like texts were like pretty I say texts, they're DMs, but like some of them were like very detailed and like in that moment was just like, how do I hold space for you? Like I'm so grateful that you're reaching out to me about this and like talking to me about this, but like, oh my god, like that's terrible and I'm so sorry, and you want me to, I'll find a Theo and we'll just like go hamzilla on this dude for you, like I don't know, like let's go. But yeah, I definitely, that was the reader reaction I think that like touched me the most and surprised me the most because I wasn't expecting it at all.
I said like flashbacks of the flashbacks, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some tough subject material.
Well, the title perfect is ironic. How does it tie into your theme and flaws and healing?
So the title perfect in my mind was almost a joke. It was the working title that I came up with because I'm like, well, they've both got these issues with perfectionism and they've both got these issues where they were never good enough for people. And they've both got these issues where, they were never enough in any way, shape, or form, really for anybody in their lives, including themselves. And yet they're kind of perfect for each other because I wrote them that way. And then it kind of spiraled out into this thing where it was like the theme of perfectionism in the book and then how perfect they end up choosing to be for each other. Because I think a really big part of the book is agency and choice. And it's like, yeah, they might have a really good baseline besides the stalking and all of that, but like they make choices that kind of put them together further and further and further and further along. Like they keep like taking those steps together and they do become kind of perfect for each other. And it's like that's healing in of itself for both of these characters, right? That they finally have the experience of being good enough and being perfect in somebody else's eyes. So it kind of started out as a joke and then it actually ended up reflecting like a lot more seriously on the themes of the book.
see, I never would have guessed that it was just like the working title. I would have guessed like you did it like 100% on purpose.
I mean, the original working title of the Google Doc was like DR, dark romance, SR, stalker romance, WIP, work in progress. Like that was the original working title. And then somewhere around the second draft, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to call it perfect. Like, whatever. And then the more I like thought about changing that title, I was like, no, that's just the title. Yeah. It's the perfect title for this book. And there is also just a little bit of audacity in me being like, here's the perfect stalker romance. There you go.
It is.
Love it.
Funny question. If Alex and Theo were stranded on a desert island, who would survive longer and who would annoy each other first?
My God. I think Alex would survive longer simply because if they ran out of food, I feel like Theo would sacrifice himself so that she would have something to eat. Like full send. Like I think that's what would happen. I think he'd annoy her first.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd do really annoying at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like, hey baby, like just calm down. That's what I think.
But on the other side, she'd probably unalive him because he annoyed her so much.
I don't know that she's got that in her in that capacity or in this desert island scenario, but maybe.
It is a desert island. You never know.
Exactly. It depends on the kind of desert island. I feel like with these what ifs, I'm always just like, well, is it a populated desert island? Is it a desert island with an oasis? Like, is there only, salt water? Because at that point, they're both dying really quickly. Like, there is no, are there coconuts? How many coconuts are there? I really spiral down into like well, no. I need to really understand what this question is.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yep. Yeah. The logicalness of it comes out like.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, being an indie author means that you're juggling a lot, writing, publishing, promotion. You have hats everywhere. What's the most valuable lesson that you've learned so far?
That's a great question because I basically cannonballed into all of this having done very little research on any of it. I'm eternally grateful to the author group that I'm part of, the Portland Romance Writers, because I joined right before my books went out to ARC and I learned so much about like a street team of this, of that, the other. I think the most valuable lesson though that I've learned is pace yourself. Don't do more that like you will burn out quick doing 900 different things. So what if you don't make a TikTok every 3 days? That's fine. If you're saving that energy for doing the most important thing, which is writing your next book.
Yeah.
Who cares if you don't make a Instagram post once a week? Are you writing your next book? Are you engaging with people when they comment on your stuff? Like, like it's difficult. It's really difficult. So definitely pacing yourself as an indie author because I have a 9 to 5 and then this is my 5 to 9 and
Mhm.
sometimes it's my 5 to 10 and sometimes it's my 5 to 11. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of work.
And that's where we come in,
Yep.
friends. Buffer,
Ding.
sponsor us.
Yes. Buffer is our favorite thing. So
You
nice.
schedule your post.
I just schedule my posts manually because I don't know anything about anything.
Buffer.
If you use Buffer, you can add multiple channels so you can have the same post going to Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, whatever, and it all schedules at the same time, the same thing, and it just done.
Buffer.
And there's a free version.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I realized I just left a lot of dead air. I am scribbling on a Post-it, which I am addicted to Post-its.
Oh, yeah. I still see you, so.
Okay, thank you. This is going up on the wall of things that I need to do,
Buffer.
which you can see behind me is covered in Post-its.
We try to share that, so Buffer should sponsor us. We've had over 2,500 posts on Buffer.
What are you doing? Sponsor them, for God's
saying.
sake. Get together.
Just saying.
Free advertising, guys.
Yeah,
Quick
free
question.
advertising.
Do
Yeah.
you have a guilty pleasure snack or drink that you must have while writing? It also says on here, we may or may not ask for proof.
Okay, so I don't like the idea of a guilty pleasure because I feel like that like moralizes food in some way. With that said, I do have a guilty pleasure because I feel bad about how much of it I imbibe and I could not care less. I'm a Diet Coke girly from morning till noon till night. Baby, I make a dirty soda when I'm writing, and let me tell you what,
Yeah.
I don't know, the Mormons got it right. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Girls, they introduced me to that stuff, and I'm just like, you put creamer in a Diet Coke and it's better? Done. I have too many of my recycling bins are full of Diet Coke cans. They're just full of Diet Coke cans. So that's my horrifying, like, I don't know that it's a guilty pleasure. I think it's more of one of those things where my doctor might want to talk to me about it pleasures. You know what I mean?
Because I'm not guilty about it.
Because I'm not guilty about it. I feel concerned for myself, perhaps, but I'm not feeling guilty.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my guilty pleasure is like a hardcore dirty soda or 5.
I mean, I wouldn't be sad about it. I mean, at least it's diet.
Right? Hey,
Right.
right? It's the like hardcore bad diet culture like way I was raised in my brain. It's like if it's a diet soda, it doesn't count as a
not
soda.
bad.
That's not a have a soda, have a diet soda, whatever. It's all soda.
I mean, if you do Weight Watchers and you scan in a diet soda, it's worth 0 points.
Exactly. Who cares what the aspartame will do to you? Not me.
It's worth 0 Weight Watchers. You're welcome. Not only did you learn about
Diet.
Buffer, but you learned that it's 0 Weight Watchers points.
Probably not with the creamer, but by itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I use the Trader Joe's like cold foam creamer too, like the fancy creamer. Oh, it's definitely not 0 Weight Watchers points.
Nah,
Who cares?
nobody cares.
Not me.
You get one life.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you get one life and it's going to be full of dirty sodas while I'm writing. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
Just saying, this is why
Oh my
we're
goodness.
friends.
Yes.
Pretty.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up with a
Yeah.
little rapid fire. The first
Okay.
one says favorite writing snack. So is there something else you snack on with your Diet Coke?
Well, okay, so it depends, but it is typically and usually the bold Chex Mix. And I want the extra garlic, extra herb bold.
Mm.
Occasionally I'll
Okay.
take a cheddar Chex Mix, but I don't like I feel like the little squiggly ones are always in there too much. So Chex Mix of some variety, typically bold,
What Chex Mix?
right?
Song that's your writing anthem.
God, it totally depends on what I'm writing and in the moment. So right now it is, I'm scrolling through my Spotify. Give me just like 2 seconds. Right now it is Open Up from the Charlie XCX Wuthering Heights soundtrack. I have been listening to that on repeat because I'm like, I need my brain to open up and dump some words onto this page. But it totally depends. Like I listened to a lot of Sleep Token when I was writing Perfect. Like, it depends per project, I think, is what I would say.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. One thing about Perfect that no one would guess from the cover.
Oh, that no one would guess from the cover. How spoilery can I be?
It's up to you.
Not
It's your
spoilery.
book. It's up to
I mean,
you.
it's my spoil. I would say something that nobody would guess from the cover is just how much cooking metaphors and cooking there is in the book.
Mhm.
Just like, no, there's nothing on the cover that indicates that he's like a home gourmet and he's cooking all the time in the book for Alex usually. So there's that one. And that's not very spoilery.
And I have a culinary
Fair.
arts degree for people who didn't know, and I loved the cooking aspects of it.
Can I totally one tiny little nitpick on myself that I realized after cooking a recipe from the book that I'd never cooked before? So when I hit 1,000,000 page reads on Kindle Unlimited, I cooked myself coq au vin as like a celebration, and my best friend was like, French cooking is not for the faint of heart, and you are faint-hearted. And I was like, no, it'll be fine. And in the book, he makes them coq au vin, but they have like really hot sex while it's being made. And as I was making this coq au vin, I was like, there's no time. It wouldn't have happened. It just could not have happened at
No.
all. So that's what I get for not being a home gourmet. And my best friend who like had told me, she was like, French cooking is not for the faint of heart. She was like, oh, yeah, I clocked that the second I read your book. You don't know anything about French cooking. And I'm like, you're right. I don't.
Yeah,
It's your book, though. You can do what you want.
it's funny
Yeah.
because now that you say that, I'm like, oh, that is true. If you could swap places with one fictional character for a day, who would it be?
Theo, he's rich. Damn, he's rich. He has no job. His entire life is like stalking this girl and cooking for her and working out. Like, I mean, sure, would I want to take on his like psychological damage?
No.
Not particularly, but I would want to take on his fucking bank account.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
switch places with Alex. Well, minus the domestic violence.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would switch places with Alex at a certain point in the book, but it's way, way, way at the end of the book. And then I would be like, all right, everything's good. This is a party. Maybe whatever. It'll be fine.
Oh my gosh. All right. Last rapid question. Cats, dogs, or an army of geese?
I'm so sorry. An army of geese is the wrong answer, no matter what. Fuck geese. Geese are the devil's bird. Okay? They're the devil's bird. I like cats. I have a cat. I'm more of a cat person. And I like dogs, but I'm not sure that I would have a dog just because they're like toddlers and they run around and then you have to walk them in the rain and that's annoying. And a cat can just like sit there and yell at you. But an army of geese is a diabolical option. It's just not appropriate to be asking people, would you like an army of geese? Unless I could psychologically control this army of geese and send him after my enemies, because there's this one guy in my office who I don't particularly care for, and I want his ankles nipped at as he walks to work.
Okay, first of all, okay, book match people. I'm throwing Ariana under the bus for a second. She sends us an email the other day. Is there any way that I can have some of the questions ahead of time? Because I feel like I do a lot of ums and I don't want to like mess up the podcast.
Perfection.
And this is number one. You didn't say, I don't think, one time in this podcast.
Oh, there we go. We got it.
And number two, answered that last question.
That is definitely going to be our socials clip.
Just made the
Please,
whole
God.
entire thing.
I can't wait. I'm just gonna reshare that constantly. I'll be like, look, sometimes I'm funny.
You're funny all the time. My stomach hurts so bad right now. You forget an army of geese. Oh my gosh. And on that note,
Okay.
This is like a Good place to.
Before we wrap it up, Ariana, where can we find you and Perfect and everything Army of Geese?
Great. Yes. You can find the Army of Geese in Hell. You can find me on Threads, Instagram, and TikTok at Ariana Rivers Author. And then you can find Perfect on Amazon. It's on KU. And then if you are outside of the Amazon ecosystem, you can buy it through Barnes & Noble, through bookshop.org, or through my website, arianarivers.com. And if you buy it through my website, you can get like a fancy little signed version with stickers and stuff. It's real cute. Yep.
Oh, I
You got the
dropped my
bookmark.
bookmark.
So yeah, that's where you can find me.
See how pretty it is? It's so pretty.
I have like serial killer handwriting. I'm sorry in advance.
Why are you sorry? I thought it was perfect. Thought it was perfect. I didn't even try.
Honestly, anytime I hear that word now, like it's just like in the back of my head, even if it's like not even about the book. Somebody will be like, "Can you email me this PDF?" Perfect, thank you. And I'll be like,
I did that on purpose. You're welcome.
"Yeah,
Set you up for that.
yeah." I do have sweaters that I made that just say "perfect" right here in just like big letters, and my husband wears them sometimes because we have like two, and I'm just like, that's pretty funny. It's pretty funny in sweatshirt form.
I feel like I need one.
You let me know. I'll hook you up.
Because your number one fan sitting right here. You came across she came across my TikTok one day, and I don't think I was even following you. And it was like pre-orders, and it was like, and I think you were a boxing one or something. And I'm like, well, shoot, I
Yeah.
need one of these. I didn't even know what the book was or what it was called, or, well, of course I could see what it was called. But like, I was like, I want one. And I told Miranda, I was like, I just bought this book. And she goes, hey. And I'm like, well, look how cool it is. And then it came like way early before it was even released. And I was like, I need it.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
so, and then I took pretty pictures with my cat.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Those are so sweet.
Her name's Alfredo.
My cat.
Now that's a cat name.
Well, she's kind of dee. So my daughter named her Alfredo. You're welcome.
I love that so much.
But thank you, Ariana, for coming on here. We literally had beyond fun. I don't know what's beyond fun, but
I had such a great time with you guys. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
for our friends and friends. What am I, a preschool teacher or something? For all our people listening, everything Ariana will be tagged in the comments if you're on YouTube. If you're not listening on YouTube, oh my gosh. Go find us on socials and she'll be tagged in this video or somewhere here.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Tune in next week for more
All the things.
mashups of books and fun. Until next time, you guys, we'll see you later. Bye, guys.